Welcome to Strategic Labs. So, what if the biggest battles shaping our world aren't actually fought on battlefields with tanks and soldiers, but in the shadows with secrets and code? Today, we're cracking open Edward H. Whitmore's incredible book, The Global Shadow Machine, to reveal the invisible network that projects American power across the entire globe.
Just let that sink in for a moment. Whitmore's basically telling us that the headlines we read, the military parades we see, the big diplomatic summits on the news, that's all just the stage play. The real script, the one that actually dictates the course of history, is written in secret, far, far away from any spotlight. And that's exactly what we're going to get into in this explainer. We're going to trace the evolution of this hidden network, from its Cold War origins all the way to its high-tech future. This is the story of a hidden machine of influence. And hey, if you want to go even deeper into all the declassified files and first-hand accounts, you can purchase the full book using the link in the description.
So where does this shadow machine operate today? Well, the most powerful and invisible battlefield isn't on land or sea anymore. It's in the digital world.
Whitmore's book makes this crystal clear. Today's most critical wars are not just about boots on the ground. Not anymore. They're about code, they're about data, and they're about the ability to reach across the globe instantly and invisibly through the internet.
And this is the modern covert arsenal. We're talking about the power to sneak into secure government networks, to manipulate or even delete critical data, to control the flow of information, to shape what entire populations believe, and even to digitally sabotage physical things like power grids from thousands of miles away. It's silent, it's surgical, and it is absolutely relentless.
But how did we get here? Right? How did this kind of covert warfare become the new normal? The book points to one single world-altering event that completely rewrote the rules of the game: the attacks of September 11th.
And this slide really shows just how radical that shift was. Before 9/11, covert operations were often this slow, calculated game of chess against other countries. But after, it became a relentless, high-tech hunt for non-state actors, terrorist networks that had no capital city or formal army. So the tools changed from political maneuvering to drone strikes and a global network of secret prisons we now know as black sites.
And just look at how fast it all happened. In just a handful of years, the entire landscape of covert power was completely redrawn. We went from a world of spies and secret meetings to a world of, remote execution by drone, and a mass surveillance system that could monitor communications on a truly global scale. The machine was supercharged. But here's the thing, this post-9/11 playbook wasn't written from scratch. To really understand its roots, we've got to go back in time, to the original shadow war that defined the 20th century, the Cold War.
Whitmore's research shows this clear, repeatable pattern. The 1953 coup in Iran, the toppling of a democratic government in Guatemala using a proxy force, which is basically a local armed group secretly backed by an outside power, the support for dictatorships across Latin America. These weren't just isolated incidents. No, they were the testing grounds, the places where the tactics of the shadow machine were first perfected.
And out of all these experiences, a repeatable four-step playbook for influence emerged. Step 1, you secretly fund the political opposition. Step 2, you use propaganda to turn the public against their own government. Step 3, you arm and train paramilitary groups to create chaos. And finally, Step 4, you engineer a crisis that lets a friendly regime take power. This became the blueprint.
Okay, so we've seen the modern tools and we've uncovered the historical blueprint. Now let's put it all together and define the central, powerful idea at the very heart of Whitmore's book.
This is what Edward H. Whitmore calls the global shadow machine. And I want you to notice the keywords here: persistent, adaptive, and invisible. It's not one single agency, but a living, breathing system of power, a combination of technology, people, and infrastructure that can strike anywhere, at any time, without ever leaving a clear fingerprint.
And this machine, it's built on 5 incredibly powerful pillars. You've got a permanent global infrastructure of bases and listening posts, a web of strategic alliances with other nations' intelligence services, overwhelming technological dominance, the absolutely crucial ability to maintain plausible deniability, making sure actions can't be officially traced back, and finally, a mastery of psychological warfare to shape the narrative.
All right, we're about to explore the future of this machine, a future that's both fascinating and, frankly, a little terrifying. If you're getting value from this breakdown, please take a quick moment to hit that like button, subscribe to Strategic Labs, and share this with anyone who needs to understand the hidden forces that are shaping our world.
So, if this is the machine today, what does it become tomorrow?
In a world of artificial intelligence and constant surveillance, what's next for the world of secrecy?
The final chapters of the book paint this astounding picture of the future. We are entering an era of data warfare, where AI directs covert operations, where massive data sets are weaponized to sow chaos, where propaganda is created and spread by intelligent algorithms, and cyber attacks are fully automated. The machine isn't just a tool anymore, it's becoming intelligent.
Which leaves us with a really profound final question. In an age of AI and near-total information awareness, what does covert power even look like? And as its capabilities grow exponentially, where does anyone draw the ethical lines?
I'm genuinely curious to hear what you all think about this. What are the limits in this new era of covert power? Leave your comment below and let's have a real discussion about it. You know, we've only just scratched the surface of Whitmore's incredible research. To get the full story, from the back alleys of Cold War Europe to the server farms of the digital age, I highly recommend picking up a copy of The Global Shadow Machine. And just as a reminder, the link is in the description. Thanks for joining us on Strategic Labs, where we explore the forces that shape our world.